Hello, my name is Brian Magnus. I'm the ABATE PA State Membership Officer for the term 2017 to 2018. In this presentation, what I'd like to talk about are some very simple things you can do to give your organization continued success. Things I'd like to cover are learning some brief history of ABATE PA, dealing with diversity, projecting positive publicity, hosting the perfect meeting, maintaining good retention, and realizing we are one huge family. Let's mention just a brief history of where ABATE PA came from. ABATE PA's history is inextricably tied to Pennsylvania's mandatory motorcycle helmet law, which took effect on Friday, September 13th, 1968. That event was the driving force that led to the founding of ABATE PA and its development into one of the state's most effective grassroots lobbying organizations. Originally founded in 1977, it has accomplished many legislative successes. Perhaps the most notable is Pennsylvania's Motorcycle Safety Program, which is administered by PennDOT and funded by motorcyclists through a surcharge on their registration fees. ABATE PA played a significant role in getting the original surcharge approved and is the leading influence behind subsequent legislation expanding the program. Accomplishing all of the milestones protecting motorcyclists' rights has taken the efforts of tens of thousands of motorcyclists for decades, hundreds of legislators, and a few key individuals. A significant number of ABATE PA members who have been active for many years want to take a well-deserved break. This puts pressure on the organization to bring in new members who are equally committed to the cause of protecting motorcyclists' rights in Pennsylvania. ABATE PA's membership levels have historically fluctuated around 1% of the state's motorcycling population. It should be every chapter's goal to raise that number, but we are still second to none with all of our accomplishments. The future of ABATE PA will revolve around its continued ability to engage the motorcycling public of Pennsylvania in protecting its interests. It was never about the helmet. It was about the choice. Many people have an issue regarding dealing with diversity. Guess what? That's one of the strongest parts of your chapter. ABATE PA is a voluntary organization. Realize that your chapter members come from all walks of life. Utilize this. Everyone has something to offer. Chapter coordinators should rely on their officers. There should be no need to micromanage. Let them do their jobs. For the good of the chapter, they will do a good job. If they aren't doing their jobs, the membership will know. With diversity, drama may arise. Senior members and officers should deal with it in the background, but deal with it and carry on. Not all members need to be included. We are adults, and if one side or both can't understand it, then maybe it's time for them to move on. Replacing toxic members is easier than rebuilding a corroding chapter. They may be the person who volunteers for everything, or they may even be one of your officers. Again, as adults, we all know how to deal with a child having a tantrum. For the betterment of the chapter, they either need to just calm down or be reprimanded. We also need to recognize that no one is perfect. That's what makes us who we are. Everyone should know their part and know how valuable they are. Like a well-oiled machine, the failure of one part can destroy the whole thing. Some members slap the bull from behind, some ride the bull with precision, some take the bull by the horns, but everyone has a part in the well-being of that bull. Positive publicity is also a vital part of a successful organization. No one wants a bad reputation. One thing that is easily done is to get the word out. it's not just the PR officer's responsibility. Every active member should support what their chapter is trying to accomplish. Present yourselves in the community as a positive influence and supporter. Make a big to-do about what you are contributing to local charities. Another thing is no bad press. Take advantage of your newspaper, TV, radio station personalities. Invite them to your events, and maybe have a prepared written statement for them. They appreciate us doing the legwork for them. Choose a well-spoken and sober member to represent your chapter and ABATE in general when approached by the media. Not always an easy thing to do, especially during evening events, but try to have someone who is knowledgeable as well. Help law enforcement help you. Contact every municipality you plan on traveling through when hosting a ride. They really appreciate the heads up and feel more a part of what's going on in their community. Believe it or not, most of the time they will protect and serve. As with every form of service, whether it be military, fire personnel, police, or EMS, thank them for their service every chance you get. They have had, respect enough to take care of us. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Now, let's talk about one of the issues that defines our success or our failure, the meeting. Your members should want to attend monthly meetings. The key is to organize your time. Do not waste it. No other chapter activity catches so much crap for wasting time as when it is unorganized or unplanned. Things you need to incorporate into your meetings are: have fun. Start with hugs. Recognize and welcome new and visiting members. Introduce yourself to someone you don't know as soon as possible. Flip out over members you haven't seen for a while. Greet the sheriff and pet the dog. Our chapter's local sheriff and his bomb-sniffing dog are members. They're not there to check up on us, but to be a very supportive part of the chapter, and in turn, we have donated a substantial amount to their new training facility. That's not why he's there. He's there because he believes in our purpose. By the way, Allegra, the dog, is a junior member. Meetings should produce acceptable plans, worthwhile goals, profitable decisions, and foster a climate that encourages teamwork. Keep them direct, informative, well-structured, and accomplish something. Committees are a very important part of a chapter being efficient. It takes the burden off the officers and spreads it to the members. It also helps members get to know each other better while working together toward chapter goals. Chapter coordinators should delegate. Visiting members will be blown away at the level of professionalism and organization shown at the meetings. Keep them fun, but it shouldn't be just a night out with the guys. Officers should never overindulge. Invite other area clubs to stop by. Prove to them that we are an MRO and not here to steal their membership. Help them understand that we are all after the same goal, which is to be involved in the betterment of our communities. Also, go out and try to support their events, or simply announce their event at the meeting when it's time for comments for the good of the chapter. One question you should ask: would you be proud to invite potential members, state or district officers, or even the media to a meeting, or would you feel embarrassed? The answer is totally under your control. One of the biggest recruitment tools is simply saying to a potential member, "Come to our meeting." Chances are they will sign up by the time they leave. One of the key parts to a meeting is being organized. This is where Robert's Rules of Order should be used. Almost every civic organization uses this method of running an organized meeting. Ever been caught in traffic? Ever bitch out the idiot in front of you for going too slow or seeming like they are distracted, or trying to cut into your lane when there is no apparent reason for them to do that exactly when they decided to do that? If everyone obeyed the signs, rules, and laws, things would flow so much smoother, right? Once it's learned how to effectively use the time-tested and proven method, there should be no way that your meeting will get detoured or that anyone will get frustrated. The best presiding officers plan ahead. With an agenda and knowledge of the business at hand before the meeting, a plan can turn into a script. The following example of an agenda that follows Robert's rules will enable you to preside like a pro. Meeting starts with a call to order, a pledge of allegiance, and a moment of silence for fallen brothers and sisters. Then you have reading and approval of minutes. We usually waive this as our meetings would take all day. Maybe consider having copies of minutes available for your membership to check out. This can raise awareness of what's happening as well as refresh old business that may have fallen through the cracks. Oh yeah, it does happen. Then you have reports of officers. Encourage all officers to stand and give some kind of statements regarding their part in the chapter over the past month. If an officer repeatedly sits during their time to report and says, "I got nothing," then guess what? The chapter has nothing. Maybe it's time for that officer to think about passing their position to someone else, maybe a more excited member. Then there are reports of standing and special committees. This is actually a very important part as it conveys to the membership that things are being accomplished and may encourage them to take part. One important thing is, don't let committee business take over the meeting. The committee was entrusted to do what needs to be done to accomplish their specific task. The committee chair should report on what they have done, what they're going to do, and sometimes ask for permission. If members want to criticize what they're doing, then tell them to join the committee. That should not come up during the meeting. Questions are fine, especially questions like, "How can I help?" Then it's time for a break. Time for a smoke or a drink or two. Our meetings take a while, but they are run very efficiently and very productively. Now it's old business. This is where you talk about what has been done. There was something under new business at last month's meeting, and this is how we took care of it. If it hasn't been taken care of, then guess what? It's still new business. This is also time for anyone prepared or paying attention at previous meetings brings up items that might have been read in the minutes and they want to find out the status of or actions being taken on. This is not time for emotions or critiques. If something hasn't been addressed, then it needs to be moved back to new business. New business, just like it reads. Time for something new. This is where the motions get made. This is not time to talk about the next ride coming up. This is time to take care of business. Hopefully anyone who wants to present new business has talked to the coordinator before the meeting or at the break and asked for a time to speak. Not a time to just blurt out whatever's on your mind. If you have something you want to present, then be prepared. Have all of the backup info you need so it doesn't have to be brought up at the next meeting. If you want something done, be prepared to get it done. Your guests will be overwhelmed because you took the time and they will want to be a part of your chapter. Next, you have announcements for the good of the chapter. This is where the rides and charity events are presented. If you want the chapter to donate money to one of these, then you should have been prepared to bring it up under new business. This is the time for comments, not business. Now it's time to adjourn. Pay your tab, give hugs, gather your things, and go visit one of your platinum or gold supporters, go on a chapter ride, or proceed to that day's charity event. Now, one thing you all want to know about: how do we retain members? As you all know, maintaining a strong membership is vital to success. Just remember, it's not all about the numbers. Even though a chapter has the largest membership numbers, it's not all about just getting people to sign up. You need to value the people that you have. One very important thing is to get members involved ASAP. They should be excited about being a part of ABATE and your chapter's intentions. Once they're hooked, they're hooked. Don't tell them what they're going to do. Ask them to do something. Maybe host membership drives or ABATE awareness events, and members should keep recruitment packets with them at all times. Give your members something to be involved in, not just once or twice a year for your events, but year-round, all the time. Give them a reason to stick around and come back. Use social media to keep every member in the loop. This has been such a vital part of our success, and everyone should be taking advantage of it. It's free, so why not use the technology to help us? Membership officers should maintain an accurate and up-to-date roster, including email addresses. If a member isn't getting your emails or your postcards, how are they supposed to know what's going on? Put out a little quarter-sheet piece of paper for members to write down their new information. Ask your members at least once a year to come up and verify their information. Once people get lost, they're usually lost for good. Try to get everyone set up on email or something. If I had to call every member and speak to them for just 5 minutes each, it would take me 38.9 hours every time I needed to tell them about the meeting coming up next month. Ridiculous, huh? Urge all members to join some acceptable form of social media. Members may ask, what do you have to offer? When a potential, a past, or maybe an inactive member asks this question, simply tell them what you have done for them and what your chapter's upcoming plans are. Tell them about the thousands of dollars you've raised and donated to local charities. Tell them about the new bill we just got passed at the state level. Bring their excitement for joining in the first place back to them somehow. When someone has the skeptic approach, saying, what can I do? I'm only one person. Make sure they know that they are not just one person. If it wasn't for their added voice, we would not have or be able to maintain the rights and freedoms that we enjoy so much. Be proud. It shows. Believe it or not, we are a family. We have all the needed ingredients from the nucleus to the derelict, but we all have a common love and attachment. Realize you are part of one of the country's most effective grassroots lobbying organizations fighting for what we believe in, helping our brothers and sisters who share the road, whether they realize that we are there or not. We don't just get together on holidays and special occasions. Many of us are in contact with each other quite frequently, if not every day. Some of us don't see each other for years, but we know that they are out there on their own quest, and we do not question their intention or their integrity. When we see each other out in public, we embrace, usually by a hug. We make everyone around us want to be a part of what we feel. One of the key objectives of ABATE is to improve the image of motorcyclists to the general public. We are a rough and tumble group, but when we staunch into an establishment and give hugs to the frailest woman in the place, people do sit up and take notice. We are a very powerful image, and that's what helps us be a success. Through our charitable works, The community has no choice but to be taken back by what we accomplish. Take pride in being part of it, and make sure your new members, your questionable return members, or your existing members have no doubt what our intentions are. In closing, I would like to convey exactly what my chapter and what ABATE PA means to me. We have a crest that is worn and recognized by all who travel our path. We are the warriors who take it upon ourselves to protect and provide for all brethren. We are the farmers who spread the seeds that will cultivate and sustain. We are the lawgivers that reprimand and influence when our values are intruded upon. We are the caregivers that put everyone's needs before our own. Together there is nothing we can't accomplish. This is called success. This is ABATE PA. I hope you have captured just a little bit of my excitement for what this organization means to me, and I look forward to continuing my commitment to the fight for not only our motorcyclist rights and ABATE PA, but for all of our family, wherever they may be. Thanks for taking the time.